Going on? I'm gonna come on here, make a video about building my risk management system. Been doing a lot of reflecting today after blowing my funded, watching a lot of YouTube from YouTubers I've watched for a long time. Shout out to Blasian. And risk management is, I know it's the most important thing, and my risk management overall, it's good at times, but the problem is I don't have set rules that I can't break. That because of that has caused me to overtrade, revenge trade, over leverage, all sorts of things. And if I had a set rule, then it'd be a lot easier for me to follow that and not justify these bad decisions I make. So I'm going to be building one right now, live. So we're going to title this Risk Management System. And I'm really bad at spelling, so don't get on me for that. But let's make this bold, put this in the middle, and let's go. So first off, we're going to cover, let's cover how many contracts, how much I'm able to risk per trade. I'll get into trade amount after. I think that's more important that we cover what we're risking per trade first. So let's start off with a 50K account. Oh, more importantly, 50K eval. There's a separate spot for fundeds in here. So 50K eval. Evals, I've passed them. I don't want to waste too much time on them, but I still need a system. I'm thinking with a 2,000 max loss limit on a 50K, I'm thinking $500 risk per trade on evals is, I think that's what I like, because that means I have 4 trades before I blow the eval. If I have 4 trades before I blow the eval, then that allows for 4 trades, 4 losing trades in a row, if anything. And then we're going to go over risk to reward as well. So 50K eval, let's go with risk per trade. Go $500. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Risk per trade, $500. Then risk to reward. This is what I think I want to do. A lot of 1-to-1s and 1-to-2, nothing more. So we'll go 1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-1 to 1-to-2 are the options here. So this allows for us to potentially make 1,000 for only risking 500 and make 500 for only risking 500. In 1-to-1s, you're gonna have a higher win rate on average. So it kind of balances out in the grand scheme of things. I really like this for evals. I think this is a good trading plan for an eval. We'll get into amount of trades later on. I think for eval, I think 2 trades is great. Funded, I'm going to be really strict on 1 trade, but I think 2 trades max. Second trade must be a plus with intact DOL. Meaning I can't just enter a second trade out of revenge. It has to be a plus and it has to have an intact DOL. Lock account after. So there's our rules for eval, a 50K eval. I'll add 100K, 150K, whatever that is once I get there. But I really like, for now, 50K eval. Let's move on to 50K funded, which I've had a pretty decent amount of experience with these. I've passed a few fundeds, but obviously I'm still yet to get my first payout. Oh, like, blew the account today, but if you guys go watch that, we'll go 50K funded. This is where I'm going to be more strict, especially for my first payout. It's not like I'm trying to scale payouts yet. I'm not there yet. So a 50K funded, we're going to do, this is where I want to go risk per trade of $200. Well, if I'm taking one trade a day, I think 250 is fair. I think I like 250. Got to be really logical about this, not just put down random numbers. So risk per trade, we're allowed $250. Risk to reward. Okay, now this is where I want to think a little bit harder. Because the thing is, on funded, I've had a lot of success with closing early at 1-to-1, and I do it frequently, and I have more confidence in it, and I have higher win rate if I do that. How about this? We'll go 1-to-1, but if we go 1-to-2, then we move our stop to break even at a valid point. So we'll go B/E for 1-to-2, meaning say it reaches 1-to-1, say that happens to be that lower high I was targeting, then we simply just get stopped at break even, or we get to run all the way to that 1-to-2. Oh, and then also, this is a big one. I forgot to mention this. No TP when you can, because instead you move your stop loss immediately to where your take profit is, and because you can get lucky and price can run, so you can milk out extra profits. No TP. Trail stop aggressively. Ugh, that's horrible spelling. It's also my keyboard. It's super sensitive. No TP. Trail stop aggressively, especially on these evals. On these fundeds, though, I'm not going to do that. But break even for 1-to-2. Break even. And then also, this is an important one. B/E at unmitigated gaps. This is because we don't know how these gaps are going to be treated, and these have saved me so much. Break even at unmitigated. Okay. Jesus, keyboard's rough. So that gives us some pretty solid foundation for this month of April. Also, let's get into I forgot about this. I don't care, we're going one trade max, especially for my first payout. It'll change once I get my first payout. One trade max. Yeah. Lock account. So this is the basic framework that I'm going to be using for this month here. If I do make any changes, it'll have to be very justified, and I'll make sure I update if I do. But this leaves us with really just some overarching confidence in the background, because I have so much confidence in my knowledge of price action itself, because I've spent most of my time learning that. I have very, very strong knowledge and experience with PA in general, mechanical trading, my model, all of that. I know my model's profitable. I know for a fact. Just really that bit of lack of confidence literally comes from not having set rules. I don't have any set risk management rules. One week I'll be like, oh, I'm only gonna take 2 trades this week. What do? I end up over trading because I don't have a standard that I can adhere to. But if I have this standard that I can adhere to, it's going to change everything for me. And this could be a very, very solid month. If I follow this to the tick, absolutely. I will make so sure that I show every little execution, fully transparent with everything, executing this system. And you guys can hold me accountable if I don't do that. So now let's get into what could we get into here. Let's go with a 25k eval. I don't do these very often, but every now and then I do a 25k. And this is going to be something more basic. Risk per trade, so it's only $1,000 loss limit. That gives us, we'll go 250 risk. Yeah, 250 risk, I like that. 250 risk. Wait, hold on. Risk per trade will go 250. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but I just kind of like zoning out for a minute while I think. I apologize. Yeah, risk per trade 250. Okay, it's kind of annoying working with Google Docs, but RR, this is going to be the same, although on a 25k eval. We'll go 1-to-1. I'm trying to think if this should be any different than a 50k eval as far as risk reward, if it's valid at all to do that. No. 1-to-1 or 1-to-2. And then same break-even logic. I really love the break-even logic that I've learned. I was spamming it too much though on like really low leverage trades. Like I'm talking 1 micro and it was stupid. 20, yeah, okay. So, all right. How many trades on one of these? Same thing. There's no reason to have any different. 2 trades max. Same thing with the TP. Second trade. Yeah, second trade, just copy and paste this here. I like that. And yeah, I cannot justify any bad re-entries. They have to be following my actual trading model, which I could make a video breaking down my trading model because I know that's profitable. It is. I have the data for it, but I won't do that video yet. But it might be helpful to also, put that on a doc for myself. Even though I don't need that, it would be nice to have like a checklist, entry checklist. But, higher time frame PD array aligned with higher time frame narrative. Highest time frame inversion delivering from a PD array with a sweep, optional SMT, classic stuff. But okay, so that's good for that. Let's do our 25k funded. I don't know what is going on with me. I'm like blanking on typing. Normally my typing is really quick. Let's go. Risk per trade. $250. Oh, I do need to add in equate what $250 is to points on NQ, so I know how many contracts to take. That's really important. I got to do that still. Go with RR. Same thing. 1 to 1. 1 to 2. Oh, but break even for 1 to 2. B/E at This is pissing me off. Oh man, dude. What's going on here? Backspace everything. Whatever. 2 trades max. And also lock account. Good. Oh, sorry. 1 trade max. Just literally zoning out. I'm focusing on this keyboard. This keyboard right here, like being so conscious of my typing, but it's so sensitive because it's optimized for gaming. I think I can change the setting, but specifically Geometry Dash. So if I try to type like a normal person on it, it holds down keys, and switching your finger from key to key is so difficult because of like the shapes of these keys. So it's just weird, and they're really small. So it's easy to type 2 things and then also hold down for just a millisecond too long, and it prints too many letters. So I'm focusing on that, and I'm just like zoning out on this. So I need to get like a different keyboard for when I'm actually doing these type of things. But I like this framework a lot. I like this framework for really this whole month. It's going to be good. I do need to let's go over points on NQ, what that equates to as far as $500 risk, for example. So 2 points on NQ. Hold on. Get the calculator out real quick. Okay, because we're going to be only trading micros. No full NASDAQ unless we're trading 150K account. Okay, so yeah, $1.2. So if we're looking for okay, let me get the calculator. Okay. Yeah, so for our $250 risk, that is 125 points. So let's put that in here. 125 points. So that's a 125 point stop. And if we're going for a 1-to-1, That's for 1 micro though. So oh no, this format is gonna really mess me up here. I might have to cut the video back when I fix this because this is just brain rot. Or hold on. Oh no, there we go. Okay, never mind. So 125 points for 1 micro. This is brain rot. Okay. So if that's, so 125 point stop is a big stop. So what I honestly expect is going to be an average of, if my average stop is not going to be over 100 points, it's going to be like a 80 point stop. Let's pull up today's trading just for an example. Let me open TradingView real quick. So let's go to the trade I lost today that blew my funded actually. So it was this trade here, this 5 minute. It's 5 minute inversion right here. So how big was our stop on this? Entered, wait, what? Oh, this is S&P. Shoot, my bad. Here we go. 5 point stop. So this was a 100 point stop. Stops are not usually this big, is the thing. So with this logic, and I risked 4 micros, 2 times 100. This was an $800 stop loss, and that's why I took such a big loss. So I just got to play it by ear. If I can only risk a certain amount per trade, then I can only risk a certain amount per trade. So it's gonna be how big of a move is. I gotta measure very efficiently every time. I'll just have in the back of my head that that's 125 points for 1 micro. And then that means for a $500 account, it's going to be 250 points for 1 micro. So $50 points. $250 points. So if I could estimate an average of how big my stop losses are across my trades, which I could do that. If I could get the average, then I would know how many contracts or micros on average I'd want to risk, because then I could make small adjustments from there rather than entering a trade with, way too big of a stop. And then, yeah, so I think I'm good with that for now. We just know exactly what the sizing is for 1 micro, and then we can scale from there when we're actually trading. So these are going to be the rules that I'm going to go with for the month of April. I'm going to stick to them completely, and I'm going to show every execution mark on TradingView, every single one, so you guys know if I stray away from any of this. I'm really looking forward to this here. I think it's going to be the next big step in my road to profitability. Again, my model's set to go. All good with the model. It's just this that's left. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And again, like I always say, if no one watched, then I'm just glad I have these videos to look back on and kind of show everything that goes into successful trading one day. But we'll add more to this over time. I'll do a quick update if I changed or added anything. I'll probably be adding little things. There's probably something I'm already forgetting about. But yeah, so before I go, one of those things is probably going to be finding the average micros per account size based on what my average stop loss is. So, all right, well, thanks for watching. Like always, be back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do a live session. So we'll be implementing this on the first day back, and that does not mean, yeah, here, let's put a note here. You don't need to trade every day. Yeah, that's what I need to know. That's an important note right there. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching. Be back tomorrow.